Well, welcome back to Foreign Friday. It's been a while. Tom, how have you been?
I've been busy on Fridays.
Yeah, well, it happens like that sometimes, right? Well,
Unfortunately, that's life.
yeah, but things happen that take precedent over horse racing. Very few things, but when they
Yeah,
come along, we
like
must.
one or two things every once in a while. Like
Yeah,
sitting in the car driving to Kansas 2 Fridays ago would be a little bit of a challenge to do.
well, you could have clicked your heels. You might have gotten there faster.
Uh,
Um,
maybe.
and then what are we doing this week? A big race in Japan?
Yeah, we're doing at Tokyo Racecourse. We're going to be doing the Japan Cup, which is one of the races where foreign horses are allowed to enter.
Yeah, and we've never done Tokyo before, so this would be interesting to see what happens. Now, I'm just going to state up front that trying to find information for Japanese or what is it, Tokian racing? I don't even know what you would call that, but
The Japanese Racing Association. It is a challenge. I found one site I thought was pretty good information. The price, the monthly price on it was like under $7. So I'm like, okay, I'll put $7 out and take a look.
see what happens. Yeah, well, I found some data, and I just created an algorithm, folks. I did a little bit of research, but it was kind of hard to find a lot. So then I just said, you know what? I'm going to settle on the numbers and the math. We'll let Tom do the qualitative analysis. I'll do the quantitative analysis, maybe mesh the two together, and we'll have some form of winning analysis. All right, so let's get cracking with race number 7. Tom, it's an allowance special weight. Any reason why you picked this one aside from just having 5 horses races?
Well, the number 8 race was 2-year-olds.
Uh-huh.
So I figured we'll skip that. We'll take a look at that.
All right. So this one is dirt, 1,400 meters on the dirt course. Here we have, I did find a copy of the map. In Japanese, this says 1,400 meters, but it says that in English here. They're going to run the right way around the track, come around here, and then they'll find their way to the finish line. Tom, from watching Japanese racing at Tokyo Racecourse, is there any particular running style you've noticed that does well?
It's mixed bag. To be honest, there is some undulation in the course, so that's something to keep in mind. You can look. There's one of the Tokyo sites has that information about how the track lays out.
Well, here it's 2-dimensional all the way across the board. So
yeah.
When do they run these races? Like when we're sleeping?
If you think horse racing crowds in Japan are very large, they can fit 220,000 people in that place.
Michigan times 2. All right. What do you have in the race 7, this allowance race?
I started out with there's no numbers.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
But we'll just go from 1 down. We'll just kind of go that way. So I have a sense of where we're at.
I took Margot Revere, my first choice. And you can click on that and show some data.
Margot, there you go, Margot.
Yeah, just so you can see. Ran second last race in the mud. Same distance. Her last race, she had to wait for an opening. If you click on the last thing that says memo. It's on the right side of the screen. And
up here.
Click on there.
Click on memo. All right, we're on memo.
And
translate to English.
Translator running.
There we go.
All right, so this helped me in my handicapping because you got the race analysis on the first group of stuff, and then the jockey's comments on the second one. And I've never seen the jockey's comments before, so it was kind of interesting to go through them and see what they were saying about some of these horses. So she's run well, and I think she'll be the favorite in this race. Uni Muti Goran. Yeah, it was a mouthful. Last two races, they were good efforts. Third last time out. In that race, interestingly enough, it was blocked by the winner. So there was some momentum, but the winner blocked it.
So Irad rides over there too?
Yeah. Oh, of course. And so I think she can win, frankly, but I'm going to put her in there because I think she's lightly raced, only run a couple times, and we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And the final one is Diagon Night. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going to go Diogenite.
Okay, Diogenite. Ran third last start. That was his first start in Tokyo. Chased behind and then improved in the straight. And this was the first time this horse ran at a shorter distance. So I'm going to roll her back here. The comment was interesting that she set her own pace in the race and didn't lose ground. And I thought that was really interesting. So it's like she was learning what was the track like type of thing and how the jockey rode it. Probably needed a start. And last time went off at 25-1. So I think you're pretty good odds on that one.
Well, as I mentioned, Thomas, I just made an algorithm. Mine is the quantitative analysis. So just straight up rankings. I have Lucky Yasu as my top choice. So let's see what the commentary is on this one. I didn't know that was there. Otherwise, I would have looked at the memo on that here as well. I have to translate it to English. Here we go. Let's see. We had a good race. I was talking to the trainer, and he gave me the result. I had a good response. Was able to stretch out well at the end. This gives you a chance. All right, well, this horse will give you a chance. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
I can go with that.
Interesting other comments in there are talked about. If you click back there on the jockey's comments, it talked about how it handled the corners.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to, so they treat each turn as a corner. And that's something I hadn't read before.
Yeah, me either. So I didn't know that was there. So if I would have known, I would have been able to do a little bit more reading. What does Coach do? Did you look at that or no?
Coach, that's translate it. You can.
Let's see. Translate to English.
There you
Finish is good, and it's better than it was before the break. If we can do a horse strike like the last one, we can do it. Okay.
These are the trainer's comments.
A little bit of rah-rah there. All right. So I'm going to go with Lucky Yasu, and then I have the one that you picked in there too, EU Muite Goran. I don't even want to mess this one up, so I'm just going to go with the last name, Tomei, as my third one, and then because I don't want to get banned from YouTube. And then finally, the fourth pick for me, from my algorithm, is Globe Frame, and the information here is on Umanity, UMANITY.jp. That's the website that you're referring to, Thomas, where you got the information from, and kind enough to share a little bit of that information with me. Private Ross, the website you're getting, well, good, right on cue right there, Tom. We got that.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah,
so let's
comments was something that was unique.
Yeah, I think they should make more, a little bit more like transparency here in the States too. I think that would be great for our sport.
I think it would help.
Indeed. And will help us with what we do too. All right, so race number 9. This one is the Oriental Show.
Because 2-year-olds.
Yeah, we skipped race 8. Yeah, a lot of them didn't have any race data in there to even make an algorithm from. This one is on the turf. This time they're going to go 2,000 miles. 2,000 miles. 2,000 meters. They're going to start back in the chute right into a turn. And, in the United States, at least, I know from talking with jockeys on our show, Horse Center or the Player's Edge podcast, anytime these guys come out of a chute and right into a turn, most of the time they'll say positioning early on is very important. Tom, do you think it'll be any different over there?
No, I can't imagine. You still want to get out. If you got a speed horse on the outside, you got to do some work to get that horse, and you're going to lose lengths trying to get to the front.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully your winning pick doesn't lose any lengths and can get to where it needs to be on the track, Tom. And who's the top one in your view?
I'm going to take a Sim Handa, and it's undefeated in 2 starts, and it's in both races at this distance. Went off the favorite last time out and ran the distance of 2,000 meters in 1:58 and 6. That's quick.
Yeah, that's quick.
And again, finished strongly, won by a half a length. The jockey's comment suggested this horse still has greenness. So it's won 2 races, but it's still figuring out. And to me, that tells me there's got to be a lot of horse there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, not been beaten yet. I'll take it. Lograga, I think. Logra.
Lograr.
Okay, I'll go with that. Raced in 2 group races and showed very little. Won at this type of level before and at this distance. I think it'll do much better today. And it's first time in Tokyo, which is always interesting. And then it does have a top rider. That always helps because why would you ride that horse if you don't have a chance? And finally, I'm going to take Amir Matsur. Won the last 2 races after running second twice. Returns to 2,000 meters after running 1,800. So an interesting jockey comment on this one too. Says the horse was more energetic in the race than it had been before, and and said also that he rode it for the final training session, which I thought was interesting. I think it'll carry over to this race, and they, the numbers suggest it'll be on top. It's going to be one of the favorites. I don't know why he couldn't continue to go winning ways.
Well, how you practice is how you play, right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
All right, so my rankings. Well, I'm going to take Ryan Moore. How about that? I don't know how he. I know how he does rides when he's here.
I think
he's in England.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he rides in Japan. So D-My the Kid, that one's my top ranked horse. And then Geocentric is next, right on top of that one. England Eyes is the 3rd pick for me, right in here. And then finally, the one that you mentioned in there, Tom, Admire Matsuri is the 4th choice, according to my secret sauce, my McDonald's algorithm. We're going to go off to race number, race number 10.
Round 10, yeah.
This one goes back to the dirt. It's another 1,400 meters. Let's go miles again. So you're going to go here. They're going to come around the track, head their way home to the finish line right there, Tom. So pay attention to race number 7. You'll get an indication of what to expect in race number 9. Any idea what time these races start? Like, are we going to be like dead asleep when they're running?
Oh, I should have looked it up. It's like it's like late in the afternoon late there in their afternoon in our, it's 11 hours difference, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you could see, like, I watched the Japan Cup last year live, and I think it went off at around 6:37
in the morning.
Yeah.
So if we use Chicago time, Tokyo time, if we use let's see, it's not me changing it, but it does look like it's 12:19 here in Chicago. It's 3:19 a.m. in Tokyo right now. So what is that? 13-hour difference?
Yeah, 13. Yeah, it says 14:25 this race is supposed to go off in Tokyo.
So 2:45. So about, what is that, about 5 o'clock in the morning-ish, roughly?
Yeah.
All right. So 5 o'clock in the morning, Chicago time, 6 o'clock on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, you're probably just coming in from a fun night out. Another one of these 1,400 meters on the dirt races in the applause show. Tom, take it away.
I'm going to start with Go Lug. I don't know. You want to try that one?
Orgoglio.
Okay. Undefeated in 2 starts, ran 1,700 meters last time out. And the comment was, they said, well, maybe this was too far for this horse. He wanted a little shorter race. So, but it still won. Sat mid-pack, moved to the lead, and won fairly easily. Now it's going to drop back to 1,400. So I think this is the one to beat.
Mm.
Tam More Vent Ator. Went off as the favorite last time out, but with an unfavorable start. Ran fifth, and the comment was he tried. Well, yeah, maybe getting out of the gate would be helpful. Before that, he ran third, but the jockey made the comment that the pace was too slow in that race for him, and he really didn't make up enough ground. I think a better start. He looks like he's okay in form. This is the second start off a layoff. Why not? Finally, I'm going to take Cafe Nix. Started well in her last race and ran on for second, and she went up in class in that race. She's won her first two starts, and then she's had, she races and then has breaks. And I mean, she hasn't run many races, but it's kind of a weird pattern. So they're obviously having some issues with this horse. I'm assuming they don't have it entered if they don't think they have something. She appears to be a mid-pack runner, which tells me she wants cover, and when she's got an opening, she'll shoot through it. So it's just a more of a tactical ride would be advantageous for this horse.
So looking, I'm on Google now, or Bing, excuse me, and they have Tokyo is ahead of Chicago by 15 hours. So if the race is at 14, so let's go to race number 7 when we get started, where our racing started. That's going to be at local race time is 12:45 p.m. Right? So you're looking at a roughly 10 a.m. Chicago time, it says.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I got AM. I got to go PM. Hold on. I got to get this right.
No.
So it'd be closer to like a little bit around. So the racing should start a little bit before 10 o'clock Chicago time, a little bit before 11 p.m. on Saturday night here in the United States. So keep that in mind. All right. So for me in race number, what are we in race number? I don't know what race we're in now. I think
number 10.
Race number 10. Where did 10 go? All right, number 10. Here we go. Race number 10.
Ran away on you.
Yeah, sometimes things get a little carried away. So, I get something on my mind. I want to figure out the answer to the question, and there we go. So I'm going to go with Shigeru Soro. I don't want to be the track announcer calling that race, but that's the one I have at the top of my list. Cafe Nix, that one's easier to pronounce in number 2. King Ku is my third choice. Is that even in this race? There it is. And then finally, Acha Gora. Yes, they make penicillin for that. That's my fourth choice, according to the trusty algorithm I put together based upon my experience in horse racing over 20 years. Don't know if Naira Bets will carry. Any place that
Naira, I think Naira does carry it.
Does it carry? I would imagine the Tokyo, the Japan Cup would warrant some betting action somewhere.
Yeah, in the past I have seen Tokyo there.
And an interesting thing too is like if you go to Blood Horse, where they have the stakes races, almost always they mention the Japanese races right here. So you have that one's tonight. So tomorrow you got the Japan Cup in the Kaihen. So usually if it's in here, Blood Horse, which is I think an Equibase company, I would imagine it would be in anything that a lot of the things that get data from Equibase, maybe even Twin Spires. Not 100% positive on that, but that's just a guess on my part. Hopefully an educated one. I don't know what I'm writing today. All right, well, that's good. So race number 11, this is the Ultra Premium Almond Eye Cup. This one is going to be again on the turf. They're going to run 2,000 meters again, so pay attention to the first turf race. Again, they're going to start in that chute, make their way up and around the track, come back on home. Some undulations there. Should be a race that, again, you got to get in good position, but it's a long enough race, so you're going to have some stamina at the end, along with a little bit of late legs, Tom. So which horse you think has the best combination of get myself in place and then carry it on home to the finish line?
I'm going to start with Octaviuson. I don't know. It's a fifth down, I think.
Octaviousness.
Okay. Ultra consistent horse. This won its last race, which was in February. It's been in the money in every race of his career. Finished second in this race last year after a layoff. So he's fresh again. I going to come from off the pace. Could be interesting. I'm going to take Escobar, my next choice. He's not the best of starters, but he is a very nice closer. He gets a good start. He could win. He's raced twice in November, and efforts were not great. At 2,000 meters, he ran 10th and 5th in 1,800 meters. But the comment was interesting. They said from the two races that he significantly improved from race to race of those two races, and I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put that in there. And finally, I'm going to take Elcar that one I should be able to spell.
Yeah, McEnroe. Just got to yell it, be mad at the net.
Last four races are at best average, but it looks like he's improving. So he's one of my horses that I like to think are showing secret form or doing something they haven't done before.
Mm-hmm.
This is the third race after a break. He moved well at the end, as I said, and he is one of those who will sit up more up front. So depending on the draw, I think he may be coming into form, and that one, you may get an okay price on it.
We don't know the odds yet, but we'll find out. Mitama is my top ranked horse. Then the one that you like in there, LK McEnroe is my second choice in there as well. Strong Will Thomas is the third choice according to the wonderful algorithm, and then Octaviousness, the Spider-Man themed horse. That one right there is my final choice. So interesting. You did it qualitatively. I did it quantitatively, and two of the four horses we agree on. Maybe just pick those two and move on to the final race of the day, which is indeed the marquee race, the Japan Cup, race number 12. That one's going to go off at 3:40 in the afternoon, so probably around 1 o'clock in the morning is the time you'll see that race take place. And this one's going to be, again, at 2,400 meters on the turf. This time they're going to start back here, so they're going to go more than one time around the track. So this is your classic two-turn race. So form and fitness are going to be the keys to winning this race in all likelihood, Tom. Who's got the most form and the best fitness in your view?
Yeah, and we do have the post positions because they've drawn them.
So why are there 2 3s and 2 4s and 2 5s? I mean, what's the setup with that?
You drive you crazy.
Yeah, there's got to be, and they have odds over here too. So
yeah,
mm-hmm.
A little more information.
A bit.
I'm going to start with Goliath as my top choice. One of his last two starts. He raced at Paris Longchamp last time and beat Hamish in a pretty good race. And prior to that, he beat Blue Stocking at Ascot in one of the big races during Royal Ascot. And Blue Stocking has done okay after that. She won the ARC. So top race in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's pretty good. He runs in all kinds of different running styles. There's no one that he seems to do. So he's very adaptable. The other thing he's very adaptable with is the going. He's one on the very soft. He's one on the firm. I think they've been planning this race, and it should be very interesting to see how he does.
Any idea what the going is going to be?
Yeah, right now it's been listed as good. So I'm going to go with that. And the weather said it was going to be in the upper 50s. So, yeah.
No blizzard like here yesterday. All right.
No. I'm going to take number 3, Deuce.
I was going to say which 3, but all right.
Deuce. This is an interesting horse because he won his last race despite a slow pace. because this is a dead closer. Back of the field, and really flew in that last 3 furlongs. Went 32 and 5.5. I don't. That's moving. In 2023, it got beat by Equinox twice, and then finally found the winner's circle in December. Well, yeah, good reason to do that way, because you're not going to beat it. Nobody was beating Equinox. Went to Maidan, ran okay, but it was an 1,800-meter race. I think that may have been a little short for this one. Ran in June, and that one was forgettable. And then, as I said, won its last race. So strong effort. I think obviously primed for a good effort here. Finally, I'm going to take one of the number 6s, which is going to be Cervina. Cervina? I don't know. It's toward the middle.
Right here. Yep.
Yeah.
Female.
She's run 6 times and won 4 of them. Finished second in one of those, the other race, and then ran 18th in April. Now, something obviously was wrong there.
For sure.
She showed good, last time out, showed a good effort. She beat the Bond Girl, which is a top horse in Japan, running from the mid-pack. She's won the Japanese Oaks at this distance. Takes on the males for the first time. And, yeah, she'll close strongly at the end. And she looks like she's got the credit to be able to get up in time to really show something.
To bring them home, huh?
Yeah. So I went 1 French horse and 2 Japanese horses.
So I'm going to go with Sol Orions. Looks like this one, according to the odds, might be a long shot. That one grades out. El Numero Uno. Then I have Deuce. Right now, that one looks like it's going to be your favorite at about 5-2. 5-2 is not what you would call a heavy favorite, kind of on the lukewarm side. Then the girl, the Cervina, that one's my 3rd choice in there. I was contemplating that or Stars on Earth, because I think they're both going to be about, I don't know. I'm going to go back with my just original. I'm going to go with Stars on Earth. I was going back and forth between the 2 girls, but I'm going to go with Stars on Earth. You already have the other one in there. That kind of covers that. And then Auguste Rodin. I was looking at that. And then Goliath as your horse is coming in from overseas. There's a 3rd one in here, Fantastic Moon. But I think of the 2 horses with either Ryan Moore or Sumian, however we pronounce his last name.
Sumion, yeah.
Sumion. I'm working a little bit on the French accent or dialect. But in any case, I was going back and forth between those 2. There's a little bit more information on Racing Post, available for Goliath and for Auguste Rodin. Maybe I just felt like there's a little bit of a factor where it just seemed to me Augustin Rodin traveled a little bit better when they went longer distances. So that's why it got the coin flip over Goliath. But I think you could probably go with either one if you want to have a European horse in your picks. Tom, next Friday is Black Friday. Do we have any plans for next Friday, or are we traveling to Kansas by clicking on?
I am going to be around, so we'll probably do Hong Kong.
Beautiful. So
we'll be doing Hong Kong probably the next 2 weeks. Because
wonderful.
Week after is one of their big international racing days with 4. And they got some interesting horses coming in from all over.
And I like doing Hong Kong, too, because we have a good sense of what's going on there. We get information. So I'll be able to, now that I've created my super secret algorithm, I'll be able to use it and qualitative stuff.
And ironically, if you go up to the top on this one, slide up there, this website also does
Hong Kong Racing.
Hong Kong Racing.
There you go. So we'll be able to we'll have all sorts of information out of it. We'll be like the kings of Hong Kong in terms of our racing, handicapping ability and picks. As always, there's free picks over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. As always, there's a link in the description on YouTube. Kindly use that. So if you're betting on races here in the States, you get some free ones. I think tonight, Penn National in Pennsylvania. We'll be back Monday and Tuesday, Terry and I, for parks. Wednesday, we'll do Churchill Downs. Maybe we'll do Fairgrounds on Thursday. Maybe we won't. We'll just see what Terry's schedule and mine look like on Friday. You heard it here first, folks. We're going to do Hong Kong racing for the next couple of weeks. To make sure you don't miss any of the action, down there on the screen below, scrolling, you will see our handles for all of our social sites. For the most of them, it's Horse Race, the number 2, and then day. So Horse Race today. The only place it's different is here on YouTube at Horse Racing Radar TV. No matter where you're watching, kindly share our content, subscribe, like, all the things you're supposed to do to help us boost our algorithmic scores. So when people search for horse racing, they're more likely to find Tom and I and Terry. We greatly appreciate your help. And any final thoughts today, Tom, for you before we part ways and start preparing for Hong Kong?
This was an interesting dig just to find information. And once I was, able to find some stuff, I thought, as I said, the jockey comments I thought was really interesting, something I've never seen before. And the information I signed up for the site. And you can do the VIP if you want for about $7, a little under $7. So I did that, and there were a lot of interesting numbers on how they are putting their factors together on what they think the race will look like, the race shape will look like. Mm-hmm. So that helped.
And again, that email address is umanity.jp. Humanity.jp. That's where you can go over there.
Remember that you do need some of the site. It's in English. It has some English content, but some of it isn't. Mm-hmm. But if you do the magic 8-ball translator,
just a right mouse click on the page and it'll translate to English. So you just right mouse click on the page. So when you're on there, right mouse click, you'll see the menu right here. Somewhere in there, it'll say translate to English right in there. So translate to English, or you can read it aloud in Japanese. You can do that too if you understand what they're saying. All right. Well, that wraps it up for this first Foreign Friday in a few weeks. We'll be back the next few weeks again at Hong Kong. No matter what you're doing for the rest of this day until we get together again next week for Thanksgiving week of racing. We'll give thanks. Hopefully we'll give out some winners. And then we'll have a fire sale on Friday with our Hong Kong picks. Tom, what do you think?
Well, let's hope so. Yeah, you'll work hard during the week, and then we'll move on to Hong Kong for a couple weeks.
Well, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're placing your bets around the globe, we certainly hope you have God's grace, God's favor, everything you do. And I don't know what they call it in Japan, but we're going to find out that it ends up in the
winner's circle, winner's enclosure. I'm not sure either. Let's just say winners win.
Where the winners are found. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. As always, have a fantastic week.